It's just making a noise, telling you what's going on. I've been getting more and more requests and questions and concerns. Clients, new students coming after me left and right, from Instagram to Telegram to whatever, Pissagram. they all want to know the answer, and it's all inside them. So we have to constantly remind people it's intuitive. You'll find your way. Here's a few suggestions. All right, Matthew, whenever you're ready.
All right, cool. I take this vessel filled with Oren, the golden elixir that is myself. I take this with full acceptance and re-embody this with all its wisdom, intuitiveness, and everything that I would ever need.
Salute. All right. Are there any questions or concerns about anything that we've been studying up until today? All righty. Did you introduce urine therapy to anybody since we met? No. Did you hug anybody in the last week? Thank you. Did you experiment with the protocols or make up any new protocols?
I did my first foot bath
Mm-hmm.
and my first eye wash.
That looks bigger than a normal eye cup.
Mm.
Oh, okay. It's just at the angle at the camera. Okay.
Yep, both were fantastic. I'm still working on getting a syringe or syringes for the injections.
Okay. Doing any nasal drinking or sniffing?
Every day.
Okay. By hand or by glass or how?
I'm doing the 6-7 month with the Q-tips.
Okay.
And then like fresh or slightly evolved drinking.
Okay. Here's a little secret I remembered from studying with Samuel Cohen, and it works. Right before you tip it back to drink it in one nostril or another, hold some in your mouth. So while you're holding in your mouth, you got this action coming up the nose and the muscle up here. It's a lot easier to project it up and bring it back than having to have your mouth open. So it's kind of difficult to explain, but if you'll try that sometime, get a mouthful, and then do the drinking in the nose at the same time. I might have his article or him demonstrating that at some point, but it works a lot more effectively than just up the nose. So play with that. So can anybody explain the Shivamu wisdoms, or the important points, some of the major points about urine and using Shivamu? Okay. Number one, it's an intuitive medicine. Number two, it alchemizes.
I just woke up.
She just, okay. Yay. Okay, number one, it's an intuitive medicine. Anybody else have an important highlight or point about this water? It alchemizes everything it touches. Eventually, you're going to nail this stuff. I'll do another pop quiz in every class. Do you guys get this? Number three, it works regardless of your concerns about it. Whether it's male, urine, female, older person, young person, a different race, a different belief system, even if the person's healthy or sick, it works because it's a universal panacea. It alchemizes everything it touches. The only thing it cannot heal is what you say it cannot heal, which is true for everything. What am I missing here? And it's an evolutionary water or evolving living activated water. If anybody says, well, what's the best water on the planet? Some people say, well, still water. Well, there are several forms of distilled water. There's distilled water, glacial water, fruit, and urine. That information comes from Andrew Norton Webber, who's big on distilled water. Shivamu evolution. Practicing saturation dosing. What is the benefit? And how do you explain saturation dosing? Anybody want to answer that?
Getting as much in by any means possible, as in applying topically and as well as drinking.
Mm-hmm. And what purpose does it serve?
It cleans up things faster.
Bingo. It not only cleans out toxins, parasites, viruses, phlegm, mucus, inflammation conditions in your body. If you get into a habit of doing this, you're already ahead of illness. So it's a form of prevention. It's also a form of curing. And for the folks who loop all day or fast all day or have it around all day, notice how you'll notice the difference in your health is dramatically different.
Well, if you look at terrain theory,
Mm-hmm.
it's cleaning up your terrain
Mm-hmm.
and energizing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're getting our act together. Wonderful, wonderful. Anything else before we go on to the reading part?
No. At some point, I would like to know if you do a fast, how you come off it.
Okay.
If you do a normal fast, you introduce slowly, whether it's exactly the same, slight modifications or what.
Okay, I would suggest breaking any kind of fast with the easiest, most alive and delicious food you can find, and that usually takes you back to fruit, because your body has been resting its digestive system and all the major organs for elimination. So you don't want to shock it.
Somebody actually killed himself eating fruitcake, apparently, straight after a long fast.
Ouch, ouch. That stuff
Yeah.
nothing of value in it. We used to use those for doorstops.
I'm just going to mute.
So when you're breaking a fast, Matthew, you've done this before. When you break the fast, you want to ease into food, not jump back into it. You've had a vacation for one or more days, so you want to baby step food back into your system. So it can still kind of like you get a balance between I'm still cleaning and purifying, and I'm starting to restore and rebuilding. So it doesn't get confused. I do remember, and I have confessions to make. I led a 3-day retreat in Austin, Texas, back in 1980. We had 20 people show up at someone's property, and we fasted for 3 days. We were so proud of ourselves, right? So someone decided to pull out some pot. We got high. Went into town and picked out in a Mexican all-you-can-eat restaurant. I'm going, we were too young and foolish. We didn't know how to do. So hopefully you don't play it out that way. That's a no. All right, you guys got your books? And why I let that record, who knows? It's out there now. All right, we're on page 107. Where's that number again? 107. We left off with, you may be wondering, how is the belly button so powerful? And I'll start us off and then pass it over to Matthew when we get to page 113. You may be wondering, how is the belly button so powerful? It's all about location, location, location. The belly button is near the center of your abdomen and around your center of gravity, the third chakra, also called the center or the core. It sits over your intestines and major lymph nodes and blood vessels. And it's near your vagus nerve, which is responsible for the rest and digestive functions of the body. Unlike the rest of the abdomen, anytime you have any questions, just stop me. Unlike the rest of the abdomen, there's no little or no muscle behind the navel, which makes it the perfect access point to your belly. The rest of the body connects to the belly button by facial trains that cross right near it. It also the entry point for the major energy center in your lower abdomen. Navels are very important reflexology points that stimulate the whole body. So how can you harness the powers of your belly button? We have known that to lower the temperature for babies, we put a cotton swab with alcohol in the navel. Now we know that with Oren, it's healthier, safer, and better. Jude, did you have any kids? No. Anybody had Matthew? No. Someday maybe.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So Oren is a much better. I don't remember my mom doing that, putting cotton swab with alcohol in my belly. Don't tell me what it would have done to me. Your navel can detect which veins have dried up, and by putting it on Oren, those nerves open up. Applying Oren in the navel heals the dryness of the eyes, poor vision, the pancreas, heals chapped lips, keeps the face bright, the hair healthier, knee pain, the chills, lethargy, pain in the joints, and dry skin. That's impressive. Apply Oren in your belly button. Now there's a video that's in the book if you ever want to go take a peek at the video. Number 1, eliminates stubborn pimples and acne. Achieves a glowing face. Hydrates, moistens dry, chapped lips. Keeps your intestines moving while removing only harmful bacteria and keeping the good. Oren actually works as a mild detox. Improves fertility. Works wonders for a cold, flu, runny nose. When a baby has stomach pain, put a few drops directly in the navel and give a gentle massage around the navel in a few minutes. The pain will be gone shortly. Did anybody who's been on Oren therapy catch a flu in the last 2 years? You guys made it through 2 winters, right? Yep, I think we're onto something.
I did get really sick at the beginning of last year. It was straight after a breathwork retreat. And I don't know whether they were spraying and I got sick from something like that, because it wasn't like a normal flu.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know whether I got poisoned in some way, because it wasn't, it was weird.
Okay, but you got through it okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. Because I just like I'm checking in with all the water family, who's running, who's getting sick, who's staying healthy, who's ahead of everything, and they seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah, other than that, I haven't been sick. And sometimes I was assisting on it, so sometimes I get sick. Or sometimes, go through my own stuff afterwards. So, yeah.
Well, sometimes the illness that we get is energetic and emotional overload, and our body has to process it.
Yeah, it could have been that time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, number 6 on page 109. Belly button, Oren. Eases menstrual pain and cramps. Reduces all types of joint pains, or itis. It can strengthen bones. Parents use UT with their children every night at bedtime. Imagine that. Son, lay down. Roll up your shirt. Let's put in your cotton ball. Let's get you ready for bed. I mean, in this new paradigm, everything that other people would think is kind of weird and strange makes absolute sense. All right. Improves blood flow. Stomach, bloating, nausea, and digestive problems. Improves blood flow to the nervous system. It enhances the immunity system. Heals constipation. Builds a strong digestive system. Relaxes arteries and veins, lowering blood pressure and stress to the heart. Also helps strengthen and tone the heart muscles. Heart muscle. You know why it does that? Magnesium. People taking magnesium oil, magnesium salts, magnesium Epsom salt, magnesium, all kinds of different ways, so they can not only relax their heart, but their bowel function. That's why people are big on magnesium. As a diuretic, Oren removes excess water, salt, toxins, overweight, blood pressure, and digestion. Is an expectorant that removes mucus from the airways and lungs. Oren is effective in treating bronchitis, whooping cough, and upper respiratory inflammation. and I put in number 14 just so I would have it here. It's great for treating allergic reactions. So you can make a mental note or write that down somewhere. At night before bed, great for treating allergic reactions. At night before bed, apply 3 drops of Oren in your navel and spread it 1.5 inches around your navel. An Oren-soaked cotton ball can be placed in the navel with a washcloth over it as a method to slowly drip Oren into the bloodstream while sleeping. Remember, Oren is a powerful compound and safe to use directly on the skin, as this does not cause sensitization and irritation. It does not have to be diluted unless a rapid detox would be of concern by a client or therapist. And that's pretty much the only time you dilute this, is there's a concern it might go too fast for people. Try this for tremors, strokes, lethargy, spaciness, equilibrium, or dizziness concerns, depression, inflammation, and dry skin. Any questions? All right, so this part.
I just want to comment on that.
Yeah, please.
And that is, I haven't really tried that one yet. And I'm going to start doing that one, but daily as well for this, because I think some of it is like a really early.
Yes.
That things never really developed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try that. I'll let you know.
These suckers are more useful than I realize. I've been using this when I need to get a quick snort up the nose. You know, fill it up, poke it in there, snort it up, and it works great as for a quickie. The same with doing cosmetic touch-ups on your face. So keep these near your Oren in the bathroom. All right, number 16, Matthew, we're going to introduce the term evolved and evolving. I brought this out in 2020 because everybody was getting polarized by using the word aged and aging. So I said, well, like other things, we have to restructure and rethink our words so that people get the most understanding and the deeper benefits from it. So Matthew, if you will.
All right, Evolving Oren, the evolutionary urine theory, 2020, Brother Sage. Keep in mind that Oren contains information and memory of our perfect health. As the body's health becomes challenged or compromised, it does a system check or self-diagnostic to restore perfect health and balance. Imagine what we can learn from drinking evolving urine. Here's another paradigm-shifting term to tickle your mind. The term evolved and evolving has replaced the terms aged and aging, previously used in describing maturing Oren, a term made popular by Monica Schutt. Evolution, by its very nature, is a continuum of growing, learning, and making discoveries. Oren, like humanity, evolves forever from the moment it arrives and is collected. Evolution, as defined in Webster's dictionary, is a process of gradual, peaceful, and progressive change or development. Do the words aged and aging bring comfort to your mind or make you feel uneasy in the body?
How does it make you feel when people say, I'm drinking aged urine?
It doesn't trigger so much in me, but I mean, evolve definitely sits better for sure.
Okay. Any of the words that I use or that you find in these books, just play with them and come up with your own if it, find one that works better.
Cool. Aged and aging are words or symbols that we associate with loss of strength, health, and vitality. Discussing aging brings up images of old people who are sick, hurting, have memory loss, and are dying. This explains why people feel disgust and taken back when it is suggested that they include drinking or applying aged Oren in their UT practices. Try this when you are talking or writing about aged urine. Hey, Lisa, I am so glad that you are getting results from drinking your fresh Oren. You may wish to try a more potent version of Oren. Brother Sage, the Shivamu guru, says that evolving or evolved Oren is an evolutionary idea. According to his theory, every second your Oren is outside your body and sits in a container, it is increasing in potency, life force, or Shakti, and frequency. All collected Oren comes already activated and immediately becomes enhanced and amplified, which is an evolutionary power of our water of life. Are you drinking common wine, or will you try the altar refined wine of goddesses and gods?
So yeah, it is. I get trying to wrap my mind around that it goes through a million different chambers called the nephron system. It's filtered a million times. That's got to do some incredible things to its strength. All right.
Somebody said, and I can't remember who now, but about the heart muscle not being a pump, but it actually vortexes the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Collins, Dr.
Okay.
Collins.
So maybe it's possible that the kidneys do the same thing with the water, with the Shivamu.
It'd be great to run a question to Tom if you know how to connect with him.
But if the heart does it, why wouldn't the kidneys do it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
We're constantly unlearning what we were taught about our bodies.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't doubt any of this.
Mm.
Somebody once said we don't even have organs. I mean, every theory, even one of my teachers, a guy who taught me Vitaflex, he said we have 5 spleens. And he got this in a visualization. 4 of them are dormant, and that when one fails, one of the etheric spleens comes online and replaces it. I don't know where he gets his intel. Who knows? All right, Matthew, please continue.
All right, evolutionary Oren for the next generation. You may wish to start a client off slowly in making the change or transition to using evolving Oren. Age versus Fresh Oren by Monica. Is it Shoot?
Yeah, she's like from Netherlands, but she's living in Costa Rica with her husband right now. Monica Shoot.
Cool. Oren is considered aged or made more powerful from 4 days of incubation. All right.
That's the guy who came up with that theory.
J.W. Armstrong. Oren contains stem cells that multiply by the trillions when it is left alone to incubate for days or months or years. Let Oren sit at room temperature, any place indoors or outdoors, in an open container covered with only a thin piece of cloth so the Oren can breathe. This is important. There is a special alchemical reaction happening when Oren gets in contact with air or oxygen. It should be kept open for at least a couple months. Longer is better, but watch out that it does not all get evaporated. For your information, evaporated Oren crystallizes into ormus, powder of gold. It can keep forever. It is highly concentrated, only a pinch is needed for a serving. Cover with a cheesecloth, fabric, or paper filter secured with a rubber band so that no dust or insects can get in. Aged Oren is a very potent remedy, and it will only make you stronger. Let Oren age for 2 to 3 months. The first few weeks, it becomes very pungent in smell, but only if you have been eating cooked foods, taking drugs or alcohol, animal or dairy products. When eating all raw foods and fruits, Oren smells like the most amazing flowers or essential oil. Any bad smells are easily remedied with a couple days of essential oils, a couple drops of essential oils like lemon or rose on the top of the fabric, covering the Oren jar each day or as necessary. After about a month, Oren loses its ammonia smell and turns neutral, dark, oxidizing, and more potent. Start aging and using Oren today and regain your health. Another good tip, place a bucket or wide open container near the Oren or simply in the same room with hot water in it and drizzle a bit of bleach on top. Works like a charm to get rid of the bad smell in the whole area or room for a few days. Be sure to give the Oren time to sit in the sun. It's called solarizing, and it is done by placing the open Oren container under direct sunlight at noon or during the strong hours of sunshine. An hour or 2 a day is enough. Up to 10 days is good enough to completely charge the Oran with extra cosmic energy from the cosmic body in the sky.
And some people go a little bit further and they put either crystals or organite or what's that stuff that starts with an S?
Fungi?
Shungite, yeah. They put anything they can think of to extra charge it up.
Remember that you are a sun in itself. Your soul emits energy, all the energy you need, and all the energy you see in the universe. Your Oran is already packed with that energy of your own soul. All extra things, procedures are only a cherry on top. You can do just fine without them as well, but it is nevertheless another thing that you can do. Boiling Oran is never a good idea. While some recommended that, I prefer to let Oran reduce its water content and get more concentrated in a natural way. It takes longer, but does not harm the nutrients, elements, stem cells in it with extreme temperatures. I don't think that's necessarily to do with my living cells. So why would I do that to living cells of my Oran? Remember, the Oran aging process requires time and patience. Using Oran at any stage of its aging or incubation is still more potent than fresh Oran. It will take being patient and willing to wait longer with each batch of stored Oran, but you are worth it. You will be thankful you let Oran age for longer periods. Monica has been practicing Oran therapy for over 22 years and started an experiment with drinking aged urine for 3 years ago. She realized that by rubbing it on the skin, it was also entering the body and bloodstream and doing healing internally. So why not also drink it and use it in enemas and on open wounds? It would go right into the bloodstream through the open wound and in contact with the blood. Not seeing a problem drinking Oran, she has been doing this for 3 years now, sharing her experiences as a written document. That doesn't mean that everyone should follow what I say or do. It simply means that there is the other possibilities and everyone is free to choose the way that they want to use their own free medicine.
Thank you. I'm glad you read that part because people are constantly asking myself and all the major speakers, should we do it like you do it? When it's an intuitive medicine, yeah, you can follow someone else's suggestion, but ultimately you got to design and figure it out yourself. Matthew.
All right, sediments found in Oran. As Oran is evolving, there is usually a buildup of sediments at the bottom of the pea jar, in which particulates or crystals may appear. Metaphysical thinkers teach that this is the renowned alchemical form of ormus, or white powder of gold. It has been explained that the white powdery formations that precipitated at the bottom of the container are white blood cells, and also encapsulated with these white cells are stem cells. This is often the result of going off a raw vegan diet and eating cooked or processed foods. Cooked foods are notorious for causing acid conditions, dehydration, and excess mucus, which causes obstruction, loss of vitality, and inflammation.
So we're constantly guiding people to living foods. We had this talk a couple of times. And the hardest part people have is breaking free from everything they thought food was how it was supposed to be. All their emotional connections and attachments and addictions to food has to be sorted out so people can actually thrive on living foods. It's taken me dozens of years to get there, but it can be done.
So the thought is that it is white blood cells and or ormus, both?
White blood cells and stem cells. When it's dried up, and I've got some here that I made, and I've seen 9-month-old dried urine. She says it's so concentrated, you just need a little scrape of it under your tongue.
Yep, super powerful.
Yeah, concentrated.
Do you know Eric in Malibu?
Eric Stroltz.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I know him through social media.
Okay, cool. I was out at his place in Malibu months back, and he had a technique where to collect the ormus, he would have a large jar, and
Mhm.
he would constantly be putting fresh in it and then dumping it off.
Okay.
So like fresh in, let it settle, and then dump the top off. So he was constantly collecting. So he was building a massive store of a full jar of the ormus.
Yeah, he was layering it.
Yeah.
Does he mix it up or just one on top of another on top of another?
Yeah, you just pour it in and then it'll settle, and then pour the top liquid off, and then pour more fresh in. So you just constantly collecting the sediment and then dumping the liquid parts into another container to save for whatever else.
All right, I'm going to contact him and find out what's
I think
going on.
I was watching a video yesterday, which I think was him. And hang on, I've turned my video off. He was using it to do with a kombucha SCOBY. And I had to stop the video at the point where he, like, I didn't finish listening to it, but he was saying that no, it wasn't even the SCOBY.
It was
It's on Alpha Vedic channel on YouTube, the video. He washed that residue that you spoke about, Matthew, like the built up one. He sort of washed it a few times with kombucha, as in kept pouring it off. And then the last one, and let me see if I can remember, he left it with just kombucha, but not actually a SCOBY, and then left it for about 2 weeks. And when it started growing a SCOBY, it was kind of alchemizing with the
orange
residue. Yeah. And he said it was looking like a jellyfish. And I didn't get to finish it. I've got to finish it today. But it's on Alpha Vedic if you want to listen.
Yeah, I would like to get a link when I get a chance.
Yeah, I'll send you all a link later.
Cool.
Thank you. And I'll remember to contact Eric out there and see what the latest is.
Yeah, it was interesting. He healed himself of testicular cancer.
With this method or just with Oren?
Just with Oren. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, all the guys want to know that testicular cancer and prostatitis and anything in that region.
Yeah. He did a 3-week fast after he'd already had chemo.
Wow.
1 round of chemo, and they wanted to take out his lymph nodes. And he went, no.
No, I didn't make a boo-boo. I'm supposed to have him. Okay, Matthew, keep going unless you want to pass it to me. Just let me know.
All right. Let's see.
Page
Where did we
118.
go? Where are we at?
Page 118. The question: does the age stuff really have an odor?
Cool, got it. Does the age stuff really have an odor? Answer: it only smells bad when the body and the diet are not cleaned properly and kept natural. Mine took a long time to get a beautiful, clean state, and it happened after several short and long Oran fasts and months avoiding most cooked foods. I choose eating mostly fruits, everything 100% raw and natural, foods from Mother Nature in their natural state. Now, my Oren doesn't smell bad at all, and it also doesn't acquire any bad or foul smell or taste afterwards when it's aging. I only need to make sure that I am eating 100% fruitarian or raw vegan. It's whatever I make an exception in my diet that I observe my Oren changing its smell and flavor. Cooked food, even a little amount of it, immediately will pollute my body, and the Oren reflects that because it's the water running through this body, and it shows whether it is clean or not.
I found that out when I had some popcorn the other day. I'm waking up spitting mucus out of my nose. You know, every now and then I try to experiment and see if I can still eat what I used to eat, and the body won't tolerate it. It lets you know right away if it's going to work or not. And if we only had that sense when we were young, it eliminated years of eating the wrong food.
Can I just remind you that once you finish recording, you were going to give us a review, a movie review?
Which review?
You were going to see The Matrix, the new one.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. We'll talk about the Neo Trinity reunion. All right, Matthew, please.
After eating anything cooked, altered from its natural state, or foods that don't come from Mother Nature, from the plant kingdom, Oren changes its smell and taste and becomes filthy. That's because the body has become filthy. But I know the best way to clean the body and make it return to its natural state. It's precisely from drinking that filthy Oren. Filtering my own water again and again through this perfect filtration system cleans the body with all its organs. My aged Oren, collected from a perfectly clean, natural, and 100% raw fruitarian diet, no exceptions made, has the most wonderful smell. Really an amazing fragrance. Reminds me of the smell of newborn babies.
You notice I didn't say a new car. It's a new baby smell.
Play it smart. It is simple. Stay as close to living foods and fruit as possible. Build regular use and practice times of doing Oren therapy. Oren is only as good as a person who uses it. Monica shit. 17.
We're going to go into the Oran Bath, and I'm not sure where I put it in there, but people usually, when they have this subject comes up, they're thinking they have to save 8 gallons or more of Oran to fill up their bathtub so they can completely soak in it and, lay down in it. And if you live in that world and you can collect 8 to 10 gallons, awesome. If not, mix it with hot, warm city water, make the temperature just right, and trust that it's going to take care of all the chemicals in there, and you don't have to worry about it. Because that's more of a homeopathic or diluted version.
All right, 17, Oran Bath. Collect a gallon or more of Oren and prepare a bath with as hot of water that you can relax into comfortably. Be prepared to stay in the tub for 30 minutes. Using another jar of Oren, rub the skin while in the Oran bath. Here's a simple way to knock out several protocols at once. Do this while filling up the bathtub. Be sure to bring some collected Oren in a container or collect some on the spot. Stand in the bath water as the tub is filling up. Take the container of this water and start drinking it, gargling, swishing, pulling, and swallowing. Pour some over from either side of both of the eyes into each ear. Do Oren nose drinking?
It should be poured over either side of both of the eyes. Oh, into each. Sorry, go ahead. Now we switch from eyes to ear. Go ahead.
Do Oren nose drinking either from a jar or palm of your hand, sniffing or snorting. Thoroughly massage or rub Oren into hair and scalp. Give yourself a good UT body rub all over the body as best that you can. Be sure to apply Oren to the navel and any skin conditions or wounds that could use healing. Then soak and meditate in bath water with any leftover Oren, either poured over the head and shoulders or any method you can imagine. You can rinse off after taking a bath or leave it on and let it dry. That familiar pee smell evaporates quickly. 18, skin conditions. The external application of Oren to the skin allows hormones and nutrients to be reabsorbed by the body without being destroyed. Massaging with Oren is therefore an important complementary component of Oren therapy as it is directly absorbed into the tissue.
All right, before you go there, I interviewed this woman who's in France, and she says she hasn't let city water touch her body in years. She'll stand in the bathtub, bring in her Oren, and give herself a shower and a bath and a massage, and that's it. She says she doesn't care for city water touching her body or in her body. So some people are extremely pure about this, and that's a personal choice.
Yeah, I know some people, and I've been around some people that are the same way, and they don't have any odor, urine odor or anything they smell.
Yeah,
Smell
and
good.
that's all they're using for washing, cleaning, bathing, shampoo, everything.
Everything. Yeah. Cleaning their fruits and vegetables.
Do you remember a time when you ate all raw foods and you included garlic? Do you remember eating garlic and your friends would say, "Well, I don't think that we're gonna have that problem. It's not gonna mess with your meditation." Some of the serious yogis won't do garlic because they said it interferes with their meditation practices. Okay, where are we?
122, top of the page.
Gotcha.
All right. Oren is ideal for health. Since it detoxifies the body, strengthens the immune system, calms the nervous system, helps reduce weight by aiding digestion and elimination, reduces inflammation, cleanses the urinary tract, reduces a headache if you drink 1 to 8 ounce, if you drink 1 to 8 ounce cup or more first thing in the morning, or the onset of a headache, and healing other conditions that you will soon know. Oren is best known as a drink, but there are dozens of useful ways to use it in your daily life. It is also one of the most effective natural ingredients for healthy skin and skin-related problems. The liver, by the way, is the organ responsible for the health or lack of health of the skin. Combining drinking pee with topical application restores both liver and skin health. Urea, a substance found in Oren, is one of the main reasons why it is often an ingredient in a variety of creams, peels, and lotions, either made at home or bought in a store.
Now, hold on for a second. I just posted on our Shivamu group last night. If you go to Wikipedia, the medical term for urea is carbamide. And so when I typed in urea and it said it's also known as carbamide, it showed all the different products that were used by the corporations in the industry. If you ever want to see that list, all these products have urea, which is urine in it, but it's disguised as carbamide. From eye drops to ear cleanses, it says it gets rid of urea, gets rid of the wax buildup in the ears, problems with the eyes. I mean, all this is out there commercially, but people aren't aware of it. Intelligent. Go ahead.
All right. These can significantly improve the health of the skin, hair, teeth, nails, and overall service of the body. Applying fresh Oren on the skin before bedtime makes the face look healthier and younger. Using a cotton ball, washcloth, or hand, apply WE on your face. And in the morning, you will notice incredible results. Soon, you stop using face cream or any unnatural facial products. Pea is a natural product that darkens, restores hair color, making it thicker and shinier. Many report that their hair looks better than when they were younger, or improves and nourishes the hair and the scalp. To do this, massage Oren thoroughly into your hair. This trick will have greater effect if you apply it to the hair shortly before going out into the intense sunlight. Leave it on as long as possible before washing hair again. UT is a wonderful remedy for facial skin problems such as blackheads, dark spots, pigment spots, dried or cracked skin, acne, and capillary bursts. Dabbing on Oren with a soaked cotton ball, washcloth, or hand heals skin problems. Simply applying a little bit of Oren is enough. Apply directly to affected areas and leave on the area for 10 minutes. Then either wash it with water or leave it to dry. No residue or odor will remain.
Have you guys been massaging into your hair? Because I've noticed for years that my hair would get darker every time I would put it on my hair. And most of my friends now seem to be in their 60s and 70s, and even people in their 50s and 40s have all silver hair. So it's mineral deficiency, and you can get those minerals back in there.
I haven't tried it because my hair's like to here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like you can just rinse yours off. I've tried it everywhere else, and I'm using it every evening before I go to bed. But I haven't done it in the hair. But I don't have hardly any grey hairs anyway, so.
All right. Well, you're going to be our poster child for a few years, so I'm going to keep an eye on you. All right.
I've literally only got a few here anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I'm 65, so.
Yeah, well, you don't look it. Nobody I know in the water family looks their age. Which throws people off all the time. Right, Matthew? You're 75. You look great.
Correct.
All right, keep going. We gotta keep educating Mukul over there in India.
All right, cool. Man, I lost my place again.
Bottom of 122.
Bottom.
Oh, we're top of 123, somewhere in there.
Okay, got it. Pee is a natural product that darkens. Okay, read that. Orange scalp. To do this, massage oil thoroughly into your hair. The trick will have a greater effect if you apply it to the hair shortly before going out into intense sunlight. Leave it on as long as possible before washing your hair. Again, UT is a wonderful remedy for facial skin problems such as blackheads, dark spots, pigment spots, dried or cracked skin, acne, and capillary bursts. Dabbing on Oren with a soaked cotton ball, washcloth, or hands heals skin problems.
Do you know what capillary bursts are? This kind of stuff. See if I can show you. All of a sudden you get this purplish color on your skin. And they used to tell us it was people who were older, have thin skin. And it's been happening to me the last 10 years. I'll accidentally slide my arm against something or hit something and lightly touch it. And boom, here comes this capillary burst. Well, you put on the urine, in 3 or 4 days, it's healed.
Cool.
Good to know.
All right.
I took the skin. Can I just say, I took the skin off here.
Yeah, I see it.
Completely.
Yeah.
And that was 2 weeks ago, and look how well it's healed. I've just been putting urine on it.
Has it got the scab?
Yeah, it scabs off for the most part. There's a little bit of scab left, but it's mostly off. That's just 2 weeks, and the skin was completely off.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant.
That's brilliant. New skin cells coming in.
Yeah.
All right. Simply applying a little bit more of your Oren is enough. Apply directly to affected areas and leave on the area for 10 minutes. Then either wash with water or let it leave to dry. No residue or odor will remain. Reminder, applying Oren on the face or any skin surface still delivers its vital nutrients from the tissues to the bloodstream. Anywhere you apply Oren on the body or drink it delivers nutrients everywhere in the body. In a cold atmosphere, the lips may dry out. To treat dried, infected, or chapped lips, apply Oren on the lips anytime or before bed to further increase hydration and heal. This will remove dead cells while it makes your lips softer and tender. Auto urine therapy eliminates blackheads and pimples. Teenagers love this. Oren treats acne and blackheads on the face. Its antifungal and antibacterial characteristics help solve problems that disturb you, make you feel self-conscious or embarrassed. Soak a cotton ball and the freshly collected Shivamu and apply it to any skin surfaces with pimples. Topical or external use of Oren works wonders on insect or ant bites, wasp, hornet, bee stings, jellyfish stings, poison ivy or poison oak, burns, sunburn, eczema, bruises, dried or cracked skin, cuts, scratches, or wounds. Use your imagination and intuition when applying Oren topically to treat any and all skin conditions. Been in the sun too long? Not to worry. Oren removes sunburn stings in 10 minutes as it quickly raises the alkaline pH, which is in chemistry the values of concentration of hydrogen ion of the skin and the body. Apply Oren to any skin surfaces exposed to the sun after sunbathing. Within minutes, the sting will be unnoticeable. A beautiful tan will be the reward for treating sunburn with Oren.
So how I taught my friends when we went to the clothing optional hot springs is that we all met at our cabins before everybody dispersed and went to different springs to soak for the day. They're slathering on 34 SPF sunscreen lotion, and I said, I'm not going to worry about it. They were offering me theirs. And so 2 hours, 3 hours later, we met again. They're still yelling and aching because of their sun pain, and I'm smiling with a lovely tan because my sting had been gone a long time ago. So that's a subtle way to teach people how this works.
I can't use sun cream. It's so toxic. I get headache and nausea within 20 minutes.
Yeah, well,
For years.
You're super sensitive. You feel the toxins right away.
And but the last time I got sunburn a couple of months ago now, and I just put
Oren
on it. Beautiful. Just
Isn't
took
it-
the sting right out. It was amazing.
You notice how simpler life gets
Yeah,
and how much more
it's
money
great.
you aren't spending on trying to make your health better?
Yeah,
Wow, you can
Yeah.
put that into other things. All right. Matthew, keep going. I'll pick it up at number 19.
All right. Apply Oren two more times during the next 24 hours to add nourishment to the skin and the body. You may be left with a lovely tan and no discomfort from any excess sun exposure.
Okay, I'm going to pick it up. Does anybody need a quick break? Mokal, look at him there. He's just soaking it all up. He's the strong silent type, taking every word in. We had a talk. His English is, fair to partly good. All right, here we go. Number 19. Oren compresses and body wraps. Oren compresses and body wraps are effective in treating diseased body parts and internal organs, skin conditions, and wounds. These work miracles quickly when treating a third-degree burn. You may have to leave a compress on and keep it moist for 3 days to give the body a chance to grow a new layer of skin. The open or swollen skin. Now, I wish these first responders were learning this stuff when they show up on a scene and there's a burn victim. This would be very helpful.
I was reading or listening to something recently where a guy there was an experience with somebody. They actually saved their life by applying fresh oil. They were in a car crash or something, and they were actually bleeding out, and they applied fresh Oren
Over the wound?
over the wound, and it actually saved their life. Yeah.
Okay, were they still putting they were still holding it down wherever the wound was?
I can't remember, but apparently it helps the blood to clot.
Yeah, and seal up a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to third-degree burns. The open and swollen skin over the blister should be left alone. Don't puncture it, since this product protects the area, serving as a temporary band-aid for the new layer of skin growing under the blister. Refill the compress when it becomes dry, replace it, and reapply. Number 20, fresh Oren rubbings. One method is to soak cotton balls or washcloth in Oren and rub or dab on affected areas. When treating an area that has been affected, get a soft latex disposable glove for hands, soft plastic type of shoes, covers used by surgeons for feet, plastic bags, shower cap for brain and scalp, plastic wrap, or a large leaf of a tree to cover or wrap the burned or affected area. This is done to keep oxygen away from the skin. Now, those things that I listed are different things that you can play with and experiment with to keep Oren in the hand. If you got a hand challenge and you're trying to work on the hand, I might have showed that the other day. Shower cap for the brain, and or put one over your feet. This is like having a portable foot bath. Or your mucklux or whatever you use. Homeopathic tinctures. Oxygen is Here it is. Oxygen is what is caused, fresh Oran rubbers, wrap. This is done to keep oxygen away from the skin. Oxygen is what causes the skin to blister and to feel painful. Indication: general skin care, rashes, wounds, and bites. Number 21, homeopathic UT tinctures. Homeopathic remedies are based on unrelated substances that coincidentally produce a similar symptom picture. These are great for chronologically ill patients who have weakened systems and are going slow with their healing. It would serve them well as a first introductory step to UT. A homeopathic dose of Oren affects the body in a similar way as being vaccinated against a certain disease, in which case a small amount of poisonous substances is injected into a healthy body. Exception is that Oren has no toxins, no side effects, or danger to our health. This stimulates the immune system to manufacture antibodies and thus defend the body, and could be called a homeopathic or isopathic effect. Isopathic, that's a tough one. Isopathic remedies are made from the actual substances that cause allergic reactions or illnesses. For example, if you are allergic to cats, you could make a homeopathic remedy out of cat dander. If you're allergic to ragweed, diluted ragweed pollen would be an appropriate isopathic remedy. This practice is different from standard homeopathic remedies, which are based on unrelated substances that produce a similar symptom picture. The practice of drinking and massaging with Oren allows the antibodies greater access to the body, which stimulates the immune system. Make a homeopathic tincture by putting a dropper full of Oren in a 3-ounce bottle and fill it with distilled water. Apply 1 drop to a dropper full of tincture under the tongue every 4 hours. An alternative to a homeopathic tincture is to place 1 to 2 drops of fresh, undiluted Oren under the tongue every 4 hours, which would be my preference. Increase the dose every few days until client can handle 1 or more ounces. As they gain more strength, teach them how to trust their intuition to guide them to know when and how to increase the dose or the dosing. The exciting or turning point happens in the mind when a client realizes that they have the power of their water to heal themselves. Many get very excited and motivated to get well at this point and move quickly into saturation dosing, looping, and fasting. With your guidance and encouragement, along with their commitment to heal, another client will soon be free of disease, pain, and anxiety. This is great. So that's baby stepping, people. Number 22, compress for hair, feet, and hands. Fill silicone disposable gloves, shower cap, plastic leg cast protector, or plastic bag with fresh or evolving Oren. Leave it on the area for an hour, according to severity of burn, rash, bite, cut, or sting. Do not apply creams or any other products on the skin. If Oren first aid is not available, forget the Oren. Immediately covering the burn area is the most important thing to do. Refill your Oren compress when it dries up. For a 3rd-degree burn, you may have to leave it on for 3 days to give the body a chance to grow a new layer of skin. Enjoy watching these unique protocols for healing conditions of the brain, hands, and feet. So that's the link of instructional video I put together that day. Throughout history, sages have been well aware of the hormonal effects of Oren. They state that if a person is unable to urinate, the Oren from somebody of the same sex is acceptable, but not from somebody of the other sex. You might have heard that before. It has been a long-held belief that female Oren contains greater amounts of female hormones, such as estrogen, and if ingested over a long period of time by a man, this may have a feminizing effect. The opposite was also believed to be true for a woman who ingests male Oren, which contains extra testosterone. Despite this theory or superstition, many report that when Oren therapy is needed to restore health, Oren from either gender will do just fine. Shivamu is known as a universal panacea for a reason. That's why it's in the list of important bullet points. For patients who are unable to keep down fluids or urinate, obtain Oren from another person other than the patient to give it to a person who is sick. The preferred donor is a vegan, non-smoker who does not take drugs or drink alcohol. If you can find someone, great. If you're in an emergency situation, get what you can get, use it. Bless it, it'll work fine. This method of using Oren of a donor works well because Oren is neither gender, age, or race specific. And more people are catching on to this. Some UT therapists like Doc Mike Whittord of Chicago, who has over 20 years of UT experience, prove this point to his seriously ill clients by drinking their Oren of both genders, even with those diagnosed with cancer, diabetes, or a virus. They're getting great results. Now, he goes across the United States. He goes to Costa Rica. He's got clients everywhere. And he drinks his female clients' Oren in front of him to prove to him it's not gender specific. And some of them will drink his because they think he has the magic water. But it's just to prove a point that gender is not any concern anymore. And anything that came out of the old Hindu traditions were based on superstition and tradition. So we have to re-examine our beliefs around it. All right. Rub or massage the whole body or the affected area with Oren. Leave it on or rinse it off with a cool water about 15 minutes. Avoid use of soap. For topical use, applying Oren that is at least 8 days old is better than 2-day-old Oren. Save it in a glass jar with a good cover in a cool and dark place. Obtain Oren immediately after intercourse and apply it to the genitals and related area. Girls should apply a douche with fresh Oren. Leave the Oren on the skin for at least 10 minutes. Breathe in vapors of Oren either from the palm of a hand, a mister, spray top bottle, or a nebulizer 2 or 3 times a day until the healing crisis occurs. Change or complement your diet with raw foods. A more simpler and for some challenging way of eating is the fruitarian lifestyle. And if you've been on social media, you'll notice that more and more people have moved to fruitarianism, and it's not so extreme a diet that it used to be. And one way to play with that one is just do fruit all day. There are people that I met like John Stearns who went to Maui. He had cancer. He decided he's going to go all mono fruit. He lived on nothing but mangoes for 6 months. Healed his cancer. There's a guy who runs 100-mile marathons. He eats 25 pounds of fruit every day. Still runs 100-mile marathons. So there's a lot more going on than meets the eyes. So that's good to know when you're starting to have doubts, considerations that your path is going to work for you. All right. Oren deodorant. Let me see where this is taking us. Practice. Okay. I'm going to take it over to 133. Oren deodorant, number 23, page 131. As one improves the quality of their diet and continues with UT, you'll begin to have more pleasant smelling sweat or perspiration. This lets you stop using a commercial underarm deodorant. Thank you. What's that loaded with? Aluminum? All kinds of crazy stuff. As a deodorant, dab some Oren in the places where you usually roll on antiperspirant. The results will be remarkable. One will not smell from sweat. Rub on hairy chests and feet for a calm and fresh topical fragrance. Practicing UT protocols daily, especially with the addition of saturation dosing, builds a strong body and as it quickens the healing. Number 24, page 132. Oren by the bedside. Now this is optional. I do this every now and then. You're simply going to leave an open jar by your bedside. You got to get the hang of this. I know why I do these weird things. Keep a small jar of Oren on a nightstand next to your bed. Many leave the jar open without a lid at night for air purification or air quality, deep sleep, and improved breathing. This Oren can be useful to quench your thirst in the night or to put in the navel as a way to return to a deeper sleep, or on the legs to heal leg cramps, charley horses, etc., shin splints, or whatever goes on in your legs. Get used to your friends commenting on how you look glowing, ageless, and more relaxed.
What's a charley horse? What's Charlie horse?
Charlie horse is a cramp in the calf.
Oh, okay.
People stand up in the middle of the night or stand up because they can't seem to get circulation going and it hurts. It's called a Charlie horse.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. To overcome doubts under the drinking ones, people wake you up. Orange juice, 100% pure, therapeutic grade, ultra filtered golden blood plasma water is what does a body good. To overcome doubts about the power of Oren, my clients carefully read the following. So this right here is written by a woman who's in our family. She's out in India, Manjeshri Abhinav. And let's see, what are we doing on time-wise in pages? All right. 140. Okay, go ahead, Matthew. Let's read Manjeshri's article.
Practical suggestions for those starting Shivamu. Tread gently by Manjushri Abhinav. Soak your feet in fresh Shivamu. Pee standing in a small tub or bucket for 5 to 10 minutes. See how soft your feet feel, how fresh you feel. Get familiar with your living waters. Number 2, soak your feet in cooled Shivamu. This is the ultimate luxury for those living in hot countries. This draws the toxins out of your feet, plus gives you a natural pedicure. Number 3, collect the first pee of the morning, midstream, mix in half with water. To begin with, drink only a couple of spoons of this mix. Let your body slowly get accustomed to the taste of Shivamu. And if you start slow, the detoxifying symptoms will probably not be too intense. Be prepared for detox symptoms like loose stools, headache, slight fever, or nausea in the first week or 2 of starting the practice.
Now she's from India. She's from India. That's why she put in there midstream. So just so you know, go ahead.
This won't last long, and if you accept it without complaint or fear, it will go sooner. Number 4, the second pee in the morning should be used for 5 things. Wash face and neck, fill up an eye cup and wash eyes, add a little rock salt and clean the teeth with fingers, gum massage, and then the toothbrush, Oren pulling, and pour some in the belly button. I have stopped using moisturizer, toothpaste, and soap for the face. In case of a cough, warm up some Shivamu. Do not boil or slightly warm, only slightly warm. Add rock salt like Himalayan crystal salt and gargle. Number 5, collect the pee during the day and store it in glass bottles. Secure with a clean cotton cloth and rubber bands. Keep this glass bottle near a window or in the open so that sunlight falls on it. After 15 to 21 days, the Shivamu will lose its intense smell and darken. This can be used for self-body massage, better known as a pee bath. Take some of it in a wide mouth cup, pour some fresh Shivamu to add volume, dip your hands in it and rub the whole body with it till it absorbs all of it and turns almost dry, meaning it is absorbed back into the body through the skin. Give special attention to painful areas. You can use a cloth for the back. Wash off the water. Do not use soap or shampoo, and you'll be surprised to find that there is no smell. On the contrary, a very clean, sublime feeling. Like a baby loved and cherished. Let go of all your angst and relax in the sheer abundance of this self-love. Regular pee baths will make you as strong as an elephant. When you are ready, start drinking more and more Shivamu and allow your body to naturally change the diet towards eating more fruits, salads, less sugar, less fried stuff, and introduce weekly fasts wherein you drink all the Shivamu you pass during the day along with water. This is called Emeroli Kriya, Oran fast or looping. You won't feel hungry as Shivamu makes sure you get all the required nutrients you need. You can also use looping during intermittent fasting, like skipping breakfast. It's great for losing weight. Number 7, generally 2 glasses of Shivamu, 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening are good enough. Wait for a couple hours after food before having it. After 15 minutes of waiting, after having Shivamu before you eat or drink, plain water can be had anytime. If Shivamu is too strong and experienced for you, try homeopathic doses of it. It is very effective as an emergency medicine, such conditions like fever, panic attack, and backaches. Number 9, avoid using chemically strong things like hair color, perfumes, powder, lipstick, makeup, face cream, bleaches, or scrubs. Go herbal. Better still, go minimal. Shivamu is the God-given provider. Regular use of it will eliminate the need for all these.
Here's a fun little experiment for you guys. If I ever need to get validation that this is the real deal and that all that other stuff that I used to think I needed for my health and my looks mattered anymore, walk through the cosmetic section of any store and look at all the stuff you used to buy, and you can walk by and go, nope, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, I don't need that. And you walk through there and all that stuff is like not even a thing for you anymore. I even do that in the in the food section, in the nutritional section. I can walk through. I might have mentioned this. It feels like I'm going through an old historic museum and an old archives, an old paradigm. All the vitamins and supplements I bought for years and studied it and mastered it. Don't use them anymore. Amazing.
All right, number 10. Those of you who are using tobacco, marijuana, or alcohol and have thought of giving up the habit, simply start drinking your living water. The Shivamu will guide you to gradually to stop the self-abuse without effort, because this practice holistically guides you toward self-love. Number 11. In case of constipation or digestion problems, 8 Shivamu enemas are amazing and can be a lifesaver. Enemas need not to be a big project. A small rubber bulb, a syringe filled with matured Shivamu can be used. Number 12, drinking Shivamu through the nose is good for the brain. It clears brain fog and brings a twinkle to the eyes. All right, nourishes the nails. To strengthen, nourish, refresh, and brighten the color of your nails, soak them in Oren for 10 to 15 minutes. Then brush the nails. In the end, rinse your nails in water or Oren. You will be pleasantly surprised by the results. Enemas and fasting greatly improves the cleansing and purification of the body, mind, and spirit. Choosing the right container. The Shiva Kalpa from Dharma Tantra scriptures recommends the use of pots made of gold, silver, copper, brass, iron, glass, earth or clay, bamboo, bones, leather, or bowl made of plantain leaves as ideal containers to use to store Oren.
You can also add a cleaned out coconut shell. Anything that'll hold the liquid, you can make it up, or this is the list they used thousands of years ago, except they didn't have glass back then.
Number 2, what to use as a cover. Cheesecloth, soft material, or nylon stocking can stretch to cover any size jar. Covering an Oren jar is optional, as Oren is ultra antiseptic and antibacterial. You can simply screw on jar lid and leave Oren alone to evolve gracefully. Number 3, labeling the storage date. Lets us measure the age, strength, and unusual changes in evolving your Oren. Since there is no special formula to determine when Oren will reach its nutritional peak, trust intuition and personal experience as the best indicator of strength and of the evolving Oren. Oren users have reported storing evolving Oren for 9 or more years.
So can you see that subjective, where people say, well, what's the age it should be at in order to be its full potency. It never stops being full potency. It's an evolutionary water. So that's the kind of thing, it's a personal choice again to try to come up with a measurement of 6 months, 3 months, 9 months, a year, etc.
By its nature, Shivamu is self-purifying and always evolving. Where you can find anything like Shivamu in nature, perhaps it's what a salamander uses to regrow a tail. It is a personal choice whether to cover the Oran jar with a material or screw on lid. As the world's most renowned antiviral, antibacterial, antiseptic, antifungal, and antipathogenic substance, no toxic bacteria can compromise or grow in Oran. Rest, rest, rest. After you are healed and in good health, continuing the practice with UT protocols and a good diet will be your best insurance for a long and healthy life. Never allow yourself to become regularly exhausted or overtired. Consistent proper rest is crucial to health. Once you have recovered from a major illness or from pushing yourself too hard to accomplish anything, stay vigilant and mindful in getting abundant rest and relaxation.
I would also add that list. I guess this is something I got to remind myself is you need to manage your time on the screen with the rest of reality in your life. Because I find myself, I'm going from Instagram to Telegram to Facebook, and I'm answering all these questions and things, blah, blah, and somewhere about an hour later, my head's all buzzy. And I have to shut down and walk away. So you have to come to where you can decide enough time, enough information, enough stimulus. Basically, it's stimulation overload. So hopefully you guys got that under control.
We going on to chapter 8?
We're going to keep going on to chapter 8. I think we might make it to 155, but let's see where we get.
All righty.
You want to read or do you want me to read? Either one.
Yeah, I'll switch off. It's harder for me to when I'm reading myself, it's hard to pick up the material.
Okay.
So I'll pass for a moment.
Okay, anybody need a quick 3-minute break? Walk around, stretch, pee, whatever? That's a yes. Okay, I'm going to take off the recording. We're going to strike. I hope you'll meet Doc Mike. I'll set it up for you. But he took the state of Illinois to court. He took the medical profession to court in Illinois and won a case that says he has the right to use the word cure. He was telling him, what's this bullshit that only the medical profession can like own a word? And so he took him to court. Cost him a hell of a lot of money, a lot of time, but he won the case. Doc Mike Whittort of Chicago. All right, chapter 8. You and a client can only succeed when you are of service, when you guide, mentor, and are not a personality, ego, or identity who is seeking praise or has an attachment to the outcome. Oran therapy teachers never make promises of healing with a client. The ultimate responsibility in healing with UT rests in the mind of the client. Give your best and expect the best. One of the most interesting pieces of information on Oran that I came across was the fact that the amniotic fluid that surrounds human infants in the womb is primarily Oran. The infant breathes in Oran-filled amniotic fluid constantly. Without this fluid, the lungs don't develop. Doctors believe, and same with the eyes. Doctors believe that the softness of a baby's skin and the ability of in utero, or in the uterus, infants to heal quickly without scarring after pre-birth surgery is due to the therapeutic properties of the Oran-filled amniotic fluid. UT works for some and not for everyone. Here's why. Healing is more complex than just drinking Oran. Improving the diet, fasting, cleansing, right thinking, attitude, healthy emotions, and spiritual or self-love practices will boost Shivamu benefits. Understand? People who are miserable inside or self-destructive have much more work to do than grateful, joyous people. You'll find that everywhere. Motivated people do really well with Oren therapy. A well-trained or intuitively sensitive UT therapist will make inquiries into our surveys into all areas of the client's life and design a well-rounded program that accelerates, deepens, and brings results. Detailed questioning is more thorough than just advising clients to do UT protocols and wish them well. We don't have the medical orientation, so we're not going to say take 2 pills and good luck. We get a little more involved in their lives. And that helps them to upgrade every area they're dealing with. Taking the time to do follow-ups brings confidence and reassurance to the client as you are working as a team to change, save, and improve a life. Studying and knowing the basics of the nutritional profile of Oren builds one's skill in making inquiries, addressing concerns, and offering UT protocol suggestions. For example, working with clients who are stressed, exhausted, or have low energy, you may wish to remind them that Oren contains nutrients such as melatonin, serotonin, magnesium, DHEA, dopamine, L-theanine, phenylalanine, niacin, tryptophan, oxytocin, and B-complex that are all well known to support the functions of the adrenals, the glands, the nervous system, and the brain. And since most people are in adrenal exhaustion these days, and nervous system is amped out to the max, they could use a little education in this area. Knowing this about Oren, of course, is optional and does not affect the outcome or benefits of AUT for a client. It just adds more credibility and respect from clients who value this type of information. If you feel that in addition to their health condition, they are anxious about concerns about life, your sensitivity and intuition will guide and assist you to help clients more during a session. Knowing that you care means more to them than knowing that you know stuff. So for them to realize that you really care, you got their attention. They're going to work with you, and they're more likely to be more committed than they would have been otherwise. Shivamu is love, page 143. In this manual, there are articles from UT educators, researchers, teachers on Shivamu, self-healing practices. These are written to help you design the perfect, quote, perfect treatment suggestions. In the popular Shivamu Hut social media network, you can read UT articles, watch related videos, as well as contribute content that is being enjoyed by the members of the growing water family at the Hut. As of this morning, we have 465 members. Yay! And that's how you get there, to get the free membership. To avoid making claims and keep yourself from any legal matters, always remember that you are not a licensed medical professional who can diagnose and prescribe medications. Study general treatment suggestions, which are coming up here in a few pages. Stay on the safe side and only guide them along their Shivamu journey. Remind them that the body heals itself when given the proper nutrients, and those nutrients are absorbed. Mention that their body's innate intelligence custom manufactures the perfect elixir for their specific needs every time. This is most important to know. And I realize as much information and as much content and as much material that I pump out to my clients and that we pump out on social media has a lot of faith wrapped around it. Because for me to just spew all this stuff out and them not going, well, how do you know that? 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 Well, the personal experience of a lot of people in their testimonials. But if they need something kind of validation, we have more and more of that every day.
I think also people feel when you really do know what you're talking about from experience, you don't have to actually say it. Mm-hmm. They feel it. Mm-hmm. You know, whereas if you're just spouting information, it's like people kind of feel that too. And mm-hmm. they wouldn't trust you as well.
Yeah, the people who don't walk the talk. Mm. Yeah. And I'm glad more and more people are using their inner senses and their discernment to be able to read people.
Yeah.
All people.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll have that conversation off camera too. All right. We're coming into the protocols. Now, these protocols, these suggestions are suggestions. They're not prescriptions. You're not going to say, well, you got to do this in order to heal AIDS and ages and cancer and acne and apathy and appendicitis and bladder problems and atrophy and backaches, et cetera, et cetera. These are general suggestions that are the major go-to protocols that people would use for just about anything. But for these particular conditions, now I got these from the Golden Fountain book, and I've added some more suggestions to these suggestions, so give people more choices of how to address their concerns. All right, here we go. Chapter 9. I'm guessing Mukul is still with us. General treatment suggestions. This list contains some of the most commonly labeled diseases and UT protocol suggestions from the classic book Golden Fountain, the complete book on urine therapy by Cohen Vanderkern. The beneficial effects of practicing Oren therapy may vary according to a client's diet, lifestyle, state of mind, and a way of being and commitment. Benefits will range from some relief to total healing, and in general, one must realize that healing is always dependent upon many cofactors. In this chapter of the manual, you will find the precise methods in detail. As was mentioned in the discussion in the whole body, body-mind healing chapter, all 4 pillars of health must be in balance to achieve optimum health. You guys clear on that, right? These areas include mental, emotional, physical, and self-love or spiritual. I'm starting to play around with different words that don't polarize people, because if you use the word spiritual, or if you use the word God, if you use the word Holy Spirit, and there's some people who still get triggered by that, they'll blank out on you as you've experienced that. So we're learning the words that are common to everybody. There are no strict guidelines or rules for UT. Starting from general basic treatment, everyone must find the application. Yeah, hello? That was cute. That's usually the sound when somebody's entering the call. There are no strict guidelines or rules for UT. Starting from a general basic treatment, everyone must find the application of UT which is appropriate for their needs, most appropriate for their needs, and similarly, which other types of treatment should be combined with the UT for the best results. Generally, in cases of chronic or serious diseases, it is useful to do an Oran fast with distilled water, foot soaks, navel soaks, Oran enemas, and have regular Oran massages by yourself or someone else if you have someone who loves you enough who's willing to do this. This is referred to as intensive treatment. In most cases, even when relatively healthy, this intense form of UT is highly cleansing and health-giving, which is part of your preventive protocols so that you don't get sick. Just build this into your lifestyle. Whenever massage is mentioned in these treatment suggestions, you get to decide whether to use evolving Oren or fresh Oren. People ask that all the time. What should I use? The fresh, the aged, the fresh, the aged. I said, well, what would you use? What do you feel? I'll throw it right back at them. Because my suggestion is just a suggestion. They've got to figure out how to find those answers by themselves. But every time it's out in the air, it's aging anyway. The term massage generally means the gently rubbing of Oren into the skin or applying it to the affected areas. There's some videos coming around from India. These guys are out in their backyard and they're putting it on their body and they're calling it massage. But they're just doing this quick rub on. You know, that's a lot different than massage, where your specific areas are being rubbed and you're pressing it in. So if you can go a little slower, then you can call it a massage. Otherwise, it's just a dab or a rub on. Page 146. I'm just going to go through these just so you can hear them and get to see how some of these are similar. The protocols are very similar to each other, but you get in the habit when someone says, and a lot of this intuitive. And if you know metaphysics and you know the emotional connections to cancer, allergies, arthritis. Did you ever study Louise Hay? Okay, well, I recommend you get a PDF or a copy of her book. It's called Heal Your Life or Heal Your Body. And she ties all these connections together. For example, a lung condition is about her getting stuff off your chest, things you've never expressed, something that you need to clear. And so it's same with constipation, as people are emotionally blocked, they're on guard, they're not paying attention to their inner feelings. So I've used some of these along with Cohen Vanderkroon to design these protocols, these suggestions. Acne, wash your face with Oren fast, drinking. Aging, several glasses a day. Nose drinking, massage. AIDS, saturation dosing, drinking, massage. Allergies, enemas. Navel soak, injections. Now, if anything comes up to you like allergies, massage it on the lungs, massage it on the sinuses, massage it anywhere where if it's connected to breathing. Amoebas, pathogens, same thing. Drinking, bathing, massage. Apathy, drinking, nose drinking, foot soaks, massage. Appendicitis, all forms of inflammation. Arthritis, drinking, nose drinking, compresses. Asthma, lung conditions. Athlete's foot, foot fungus, saturation dosing, drinking, enemas. Atrophy, drinking, nose drinking, massages. Backaches, massage, drinking, foot soaks. Bites, drinking, massage, compresses, rubbings. Bladder problems, drinking, compress, nose drinking. Blisters, this is skin conditions. Blood pressure, low blood pressure, high blood pressure. Dietary changes, blood vessels, constriction of blood vessels. Drinking, nose drinking, bath. Boils, rubbing on boils. Bowel movements, constipation, colitis, IBS, anything related to gut issues. Brain injury, related diseases. Bronchitis, burns, cancer, all cancers, doesn't matter what it is. According to Louise Hay, cancer represents eating away at the self. And the part that stores a cancer is the part that you resent or reject. If you have breast cancer, you hate your breasts or you hate your femininity. If it's prostate, whatever it is, that's what cancer is according to Louise Hay. Because you don't find happy people getting cancer. Right? Hopefully I was off on that one. Candida.
That's Louise Hay, Hay.
Hay, Louise Hay. I'll show you her book. Don't go away. All right, Louise, where is your book? The original book, which came out in 1980, was a small little blue book that was smaller than this. All right, and then in 1990 it came out called this, and that's Louise. She passed away at age 95. Had a great run. She used affirmations to heal her cancer. And what's amazing about her teaching, and this is what I love about doing breath work and working with affirmations, is that people are getting results by clearing their belief systems out faster and better than going on diets. I have people trying to lose weight. They're going, well, I want to lose weight. Should I change my diet? You can change your diet, but you also have to change your belief systems, because then it'll be permanent. Just saying. All right, what page am I on? 148? Okay, here we go. Candidiasis, cataracts, any eye problems, coughs, drinking, gargling, pulling, nose drinking, cysts, dandruff, depression, diabetes. Imagine telling someone who's depressed, you just got to drink your pee. If nothing else, it'll get them to laugh. Well, what if is he serious? I don't know. I'm depressed. I don't know if I can understand that. Dandruff, depression, diabetes, diarrhea, digestive issues, dizziness, ear problems, eczema, energy, fever, fungus. You can see the list goes on. Gallbladders, gum conditions, hair loss, heart, hepatitis, insects. I wish I knew this when I had hepatitis. I had grade C, low-grade hepatitis. when I was 22, 23. I was in a raw food community. I ended up going home with nothing but my juicer and the clothes on my back. And I told my folks, whatever happens, don't feed me. So I fasted and did yoga in the living room for 2 weeks. Went back to the doctor. The doctor says, I don't get it. You're supposed to be in bed for 6 weeks to several months. I said, Doc, I'm 23. That ain't going to work for me. I got to get on with my life. Thank you. So I found out that your will is stronger than the illness. You can will yourself well. Hepatitis, insect bites, itching, kidney problems, Lyme disease, MS. More and more people are contacting me about Lyme disease. Menopause, obesity, parasites, prostate conditions, scars, sciatic nerve, sexual potency or drive, shock. This is where injections, I would add injections in your book there. Page 151. Whether it's an anaphylactic shock, I'm still tongue-tied on that one. Whether it's a shock from a wasp sting, or if it's an actual heart-related shock, or the person passes out, I'd put an injection in their body as soon as possible. So you may want to write that in there, page 151. Spasms, stomach problems, stress, sunburn, we already discussed sunburn, tinnitus, tooth issues, ulcers, UTI, urinary tract infection. I would also add massage and navel soak. Vaginal problems, douche washing, foot soak, include that one. Warts, apply to affected area. Also, I would put in massage. And wounds. So this is kind of I didn't add every single illness in this list. This is just the general list. I'm sure there's a lot more quote unquote illnesses that you can think of that you will be able to design some treatments for. It was a long list. I didn't want to add the whole list. Okay. Let's see where we are. We got about 40 minutes here, Matthew. So we're going to keep going, but we're going to quit by, I don't know if we'll get that far, but we're going to quit by page 172. So we're now on page 153.
All righty, chapter 10, designing UT protocols and wellness practices for a client to bring radiant health. Making inquiries or probing into the lives of a client determines the direction of the session. This information compiled from the discussion helps in designing general treatment suggestions and a program that includes all aspects of well-being. Inquiry helps you understand a holistic overview of their life as a way of building protocols, practice, and a program that brings the results they came to you to achieve. Just telling them to drink their water and try UT protocols and sending them away to figure it all out is not only a disservice to a client, but they will have a much harder journey when only approaching health from only the physical or material form.
Keep in mind that anything you teach is duplicatable. Anything you say to anybody about urine therapy, particularly if they haven't gone deeper into understanding what this journey and this path is all about, that's all they have to go by to share and duplicate that to other people. So see if you can educate them as best you can before they go out of your life or they go on. Because you're planting seeds to people.
Here are some simple questions for new clients to contemplate and answer. What motivated you to start practicing UT? A book, a person, an illness? Who or what was your influence?
Some people do it out of curiosity, so I want to add that to the list. Go ahead.
What went through mind when you were considering actually drinking your pee? Can you recall any defining moments that stand out that inspired your decision? What mental obstacles, if any, did you have to overcome to take the first drink? Was it easy or difficult for you to do this? Did you have to overcome a gag reflex or feelings of disgust? What UT protocols are you currently practicing and which do you use every day? Have you tried a variety of UT protocols? What are your favorites and why? What did you study, or what are you studying to further your UT education? Would you say that you are passionate and outspoken about Shivamu? Are you serious about telling others about your UT discovery and personal success with UT? How daily UT practices affected your life? Do you think that you will ever consider that you might stop doing this practice? Can you explain the transition that people go through in order to get the most from practicing UT, i.e. diet, food choices, lifestyle, mental changes, or beliefs about oneself? What advice would you give to newbies about taking that important first sip?
So as you look over all these questions, you realize this answers pretty much the majority of concerns and questions that people will have about using it, continue using it, getting the results, the subtle changes, the diet. I mean, these are key questions that at some point you'll learn these, or you already know them, so that when it comes up in conversation, you can guide the conversation with people. Because they're relying on you to be able to get them through it, because it's new to them. They're a little bit concerned about their health, and they're hopefully relying on you and this medicine be able to get their life back. So getting to know these questions is very helpful.
I'm thinking really the main thing is to be almost an educator and a living example of what it can do, because like the more I learn, the more I realize in all areas of my life how much we've been lied to. And it's really about unlearning all the bullshit,
the crap,
and learning what's real and true.
Right, and that's part of our work. I did a video the other night about all these guys that are whistleblowers, and they're outing the bad guys. They're outing the cabal. They're doing all this stuff. I'm going, well, that must make us Shivamu whistleblowers, because we're telling everybody that they duped us, and we all were given the wrong message about urine.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't know until all of this that we're bathing in it in the womb. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of research over the years, and when I wrote this book, I was going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole. Every time I found something connected to this, on a science-based website, on a naturopathic website, at a website from India, something that was dated in the 1800s, 1900s, early. I was just like, I would follow it and find the teachers and find the writing and find where their resources were, and it hasn't stopped. I mean, this new stuff that people are coming out with, I had never heard of it. And if you go to Wikipedia, you see all the different uses for urea. So we're constantly learning this. It's amazing. Thank you, Jude.
It's kind of like once you heal your own misunderstanding, you just naturally give it to others. It's not even an effort. It's just
There's also go ahead.
I like what you said earlier, Jude, is like an example. I always like that better than like teacher or something like that. It's just an example, where it's undeniable.
Yeah.
I like that distinction.
Yeah.
It also doesn't create a separation or a hierarchy of, oh, he's the teacher and I'm the student.
Yeah. No, there's no hierarchy, because it's like we've all unlearned the BS that we were taught, and we still aren't, I mean, it's phenomenal. Well, not just this, everything.
Did you ever come across the Course in Miracles?
Yes, I didn't study it because I was doing something else at the time that was kind of similar, but
its basic premise is
spiritual.
The basic premise of A Course in Miracles is not to teach you anything, but to unlearn everything.
Yes.
So it's a manual of starting, and basically it takes all your belief systems and sets them aside and starts you off with statements like, none of this in this room means anything. This curtain
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. This hat doesn't mean anything. I've assigned a meaning to it. That's what it means. But if I change the
Yeah.
meaning to it, it's going to mean something different.
Yeah.
And it's constantly having you to examine everything that you thought was true, so you come to an understanding of what's a common understanding of reality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I've been unlearning stuff for about 40 years. So
oh, so you're self-untaught.
yes, exactly.
It's kind of like my bumper
Gonna
sticker.
mute.
Someone gave me
Yeah.
a bumper sticker, and I'm having so much fun with it. It says,
What's it
"Relax,
say?
relax. Nothing's under control."
I like that.
So, Matthew, we got about. But let's go for about 20 minutes, and then we'll have our last bit of questions and comments. By the way, my buddy out in India has got the certificate ready. All we have to do is get all the names correct. I'm sure I've got everybody's name, but just in case you want it spelled or written out a different way, just let me know. All right,
All
Brother
right.
Matthew,
Chapter 11, yeah.
please.
All right. Clearing the mind of all negative associations, beliefs, or ideas about UT, including suggestions, theories, and myths taught to you, especially by the medical industry. Learning a client's beliefs about Oren, and if they ever consider drinking their pee, gives you a clearer picture of which direction to take the conversation and initial consultation. Beatrice Barnett, in her book, The Miracle of Urine Therapy, offers a good approach to handling aversions to drinking Oren. Throughout the civilized world, blood and blood products are being used in medical world without evoking the repugnance associated with Oren. We use prepackaged cells, blood plasma, white blood cells, and countless other blood components. Oren is nothing other than blood plasma product. Babies are being breastfed, and we easily accept this with the common practice of eating dairy products. Yet we cannot imagine drinking Oren. Fresh Oren contains the same substances as those found in the blood. If you think about it, Oren is ultra-filtered blood plasma water.
Now, hold on a minute. I was talking to one of my female students out in Tennessee. Is she still in Tennessee? She's in Missouri. And she was saying, well, you know, I've got to deal with the menstruation thing and menopause and all the female blood thing. You guys don't have to do that. Us women have vaginas and we bleed. We have to deal with that. I said, yeah, but we have penises, and our liquid is liquid blood. She said, oh yeah, you guys do pee. You do bleed. Does that make any sense to you? We're drinking blood plasma water. So everybody gets rid of blood somehow.
Cool.
Matthew, it's just a funny way to think about it, but go ahead.
All right. Babies are being breastfed, and we easily accept this along with common practice of eating dairy products. Yet we cannot imagine drinking Oren. Fresh Oren contains the same substances as those found in the blood. If you think about it, Oren is ultra-filtered blood plasma water. Pee was part of your blood just minutes before and flowed elsewhere through your body, possibly through your tongue. Since Oren is not poisonous or disgusting while in the body, why is it considered so repulsive as piss? Overcoming objections in a sensitive and compassionate manner is crucial to a successful UT session. Anyone who criticizes or challenges you about Oren therapy, whether someone in person or someone who calls into a radio show while you are being interviewed, known as a heckler or troll.
And my share of those.
Is someone who never did their research and is repeating what they have been taught about Oren. This way, you will never take their words, energy, or emotions personally, and you can hold your ground while confidently responding to them. Bring it on, baby. Some of the concerns or mental obstacles that have been overcome about drinking Oren has included: I've always thought it was a waste product. Why would anyone want to drink their pee? They are secretly wondering if you are trusted or a credible source. They seem to be waiting for guidance from the inner voice to decide about working with you. These are the pillars of health and well-being: mental, emotional, physical, self-love, spiritual. It is to your advantage, dear readers, to take this teaching to heart and design a personal daily program of practices for you first.
Stay with this practice. Eventually, people will come around. When they come back to you 3 months, 6 months later, and they realize you haven't been sick in years and you look good and you haven't aged, they may start taking a notice and go, I'm ready now.
Can I just say, and this is what's coming to me at this point in time,
Yes.
like a baby doesn't reject any of its own, excretions.
Yeah.
Only until the parents react to it. So in a way, it's like unlearning our parents' reaction to, a dirty nappy or a wet nappy or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's the same
It's
with
like we don't have that naturally.
right. And
It's a learned reaction.
They also taught us the reaction to toilet training.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they can only teach us with what they knew, our parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's about urine or about love.
So, but the other part of that is somebody's reaction to their urine might also be, when it's extreme, would also be what they've been taught about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another area to be aware of, that is a big mental block thing for them.
Yeah. And then if you spend enough time with the water family like I do, these conversations are totally natural to us. We talk about things that it's like they're two different worlds.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew, where are we? 158?
158. After being a product of discipline, you will know how to assist your clients in finding their way. What will they, parents, siblings, children, or partner, think of me if I become a pee drinker? Remind the client that what they think about themselves matters most. What others think about you is none of your business. Your work will include acknowledging and giving them recognition, empowering them, and reminding them the truth about themselves. I'm
now,
going
if
to
you're dating, Matthew, do you have a girlfriend?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, so when you're dating, I learned this from one of my spiritual teachers. She says you should interview your dates to find out, to save you some time in the long run, find out what their spiritual interests are, what their daily practices are, what do they do for the health. Oh yeah, do you drink your pee? I mean, you can qualify them really fast in one date. I've lost girlfriends that way, but go ahead.
Am I going to feel embarrassed and think that others are criticizing me? Once again, give client reassurance that they are okay just as they are right now. Are you insane or in a cult? Trust issue, give reassurance. Is it safe? Trust issue, give reassurance. I have been drinking my pee for many years and I feel greater every day. 30 million people worldwide are alive and well because they drink their wee every day. Does that tell you anything?
So these are great responses to people who are still trying to hold some kind of argument with you, and you're sitting there knowing that they didn't do any research. They got nothing to throw at you. They got no ammunition. Their argument is weak as it could be, and they'll either hear you or they'll run. So have fun with the newbies.
I love it. I think it's great. I pretty much share openly, and I had my men's group yesterday with a bunch of yoga teachers, and it's so fun because I started talking about it and they thought I was joking. And so they were adding, like, I was telling a story about last week how I was sitting in a room full of misted aged Oren, and thought I was completely joking. And he's like, did you do an enema next? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh my God, I thought you were joking. I thought this was a joke. But yeah, it's super fun, definitely.
Yes, and you brought some levity into the conversation, so that helps a lot too.
For sure. All right, page 160, top of the page. Question.
We're gonna go 14 more minutes.
Cool. Is Oren really sterile or full of germs? Being made in the ultimate sterile environment without any contact from outside the body. Your water is being made in ultra sterile laboratory conditions. It is always designed exactly to meet your most current bodily needs, stored in a sterile container, the bladder, and then signals you by using pressure that your elixir is ready. Orin is absolutely sterile, and most of the orin that your body produces goes back into the bloodstream anyway. If orin is a waste product, then spending 9 months growing in a baby body in the womb while drinking, snorting, and bathing in our piss would have caused us to be sick or dead at birth. Plus, our vagina or penis would not be so beautiful from dripping pee on our chemicals every day. Question, why does orange smell sometimes? After a while, the uric acid in orange changes into ammonia, and only then does it start to smell. However, the smell evaporates completely after the orange is absorbed into the skin or any organic surface. Got any
Some call it
testimonials?
outgassing. It's like outgassing on a carpet that just got laid. It'll eventually evaporate. Go ahead.
Got any testimonials or research that might convince me? Yes, there are thousands to show you. What will it take for you to trust my word and get started? Wow. Was it hard for you to take that first drink? I was 40 at the time, and I had experimented with just about everything imaginable. Considering all the many methods of healing that I have tried as a way to become healthy, drinking my pee was not much of a leap. What really convinced me to go for that first sip and drink was the writings of Cohen Ben der Kroon, The Golden Fountain, My UT Bible, and Leonard Orr, The Secrets of Youthing. It was a reminder by Leonard, a devotee of Babaji, known by many as Lord Shiva, that spoke to me. Since Shiva sent Leonard to deliver the Shivamu message to me, of course I said yes. What has it done for you? It has healed my intestines, vision improved, hearing sharpened, and calmed this restless mind. Keeping the discipline of using of UT protocols every day for 26 years continues to bring me a clear, calm mind, balanced emotions, and boundless energy all day. I have always thought that it was a waste product. It's what I always heard about piss. Where did you get that idea? What made you think that was true? Perhaps the medical system made it all up to hide the knowledge of Shivamu from us.
Now that's a powerful question. The moment somebody says it's a disgusting waste product, hit them with that question and watch their response. Well, where did you get that idea from? Did you make it up? Did you read it? And most people, Jude, you know this, most people just go along with the narrative without questioning it. And this is what has happened on our planet is people went along with the narrative that the doctors and wherever else told them this is what it is, and we're going, nope, we know different. All right, Matthew, 10 more minutes. Let's do this.
All right, why would anyone want to drink pee? When I am done explaining the truth about Oren and have answered all your questions, you will be convinced. Only when your motivation or why is strong enough to take action to get well will you hear and understand why millions are healthier and happier because they made the choice to begin and practice auto urine therapy every day. Trust me, you will pee glad you did. Why should I trust you or take your word for it? It is safe and healthy for me to drink my pee. Do I appear sane and sincere that auto urine therapy is the real deal? Check in with yourself now and see how you feel about auto urine therapy and if you are ready to go for it. By planting this one idea in their mind, concerns start to wash away as they sense your certainty and sincerity about auto urine therapy potential, and to help restore their health. What if we are right and urine really is perfect medicine, and the medical system got it wrong? Okay, now you got my attention. How do I start?
Now, wouldn't that be a good question to ask people? Well, what if the guys who do urine therapy got it right? You'll never know if you're sitting on the fence while all these other people are achieving incredible health and living long lives and having strength. While you decide how to sort out the beliefs you have, you may want to just start off and try it and see if any of us got it right.
All right, reminder, you and your client can only succeed as long as you take the position of a servant, guide, mentor, and not a personality, ego, or identity that is seeking to prove anything. Offer a personal auto urine therapy story as confirmation or validation that you got results, proving to them that you are not a snake oil salesperson, are sincere and do walk your talk. You can also offer the stories of others, third party, to satisfy their need for testimonials.
And people will have to discover that you do not have a secret agenda, and you do not have someone paying you. You do not have a sponsor, and you're not trying to win them over into something. You're just offering it, and it's up to them to decide if it's for them or not.
And you're not in a pyramid scheme.
It's not network marketing. It's, yeah, you go sign. You
No
get,
network.
you get 3 of your friends to drink their tea and have them get 3 of their friends. That would be a heck of a business if we can monetize it. All right, let's finish off with this page. I think that'll do it.
Cool. Teach what auto urine therapy has done for others. Learn how UT teaches and designing general suggestions. Number 2, teach basic UT 101. Keep it simple. Avoid talking over their head, no matter how much they appear to know. Get in the habit of thinking that you are speaking to a 5th grader, and you'll be effectively communicating with most people. There is, of course, not much you can do with skeptics or closed minds, yet you have planted a seed which may take root and grow someday. Those that are serious about saving their lives and healing themselves will be listening and will take your advice. Teach the joy of drinking one's own water and all auto urine therapy protocols. Clients will guide you in taking the next step and dive deeper into auto urine therapy lifestyle. When a doctor claims that any disease is incurable, what they really mean is that their limited education and profession does not include self-healing and cannot help you. Doctors.
Right. That's good. That pretty much goes to explain why doctors have limited knowledge about the body and how it actually operates. If they weren't silenced or are directed to give certain answers or to give certain protocols, it'd be a different medical system. But they got their hands tied. Any questions on what we discussed today? All right, anybody want to talk about the movie?